First of all, I pointed out the negatives on the Portugal economy just now to Jeffrey. I think they are well known and irrefutable. Tell me what's going right about the Portugal economy at the moment, because I know they have enacted 2/3 of these structural reforms. They have done their damnedest to try and stay on track, but have they gone far enough, or have they gone too far?
Well, I think there are some positive. We've seen very good export growth, and they're really focusing on this sort of external competitiveness and getting exports to lead their GDP. And there is some positive sign there. And, you know, they may tip back into growth in the next year. But, you know, the real question is, can they get back to the level they were at before? And, you know, by all accounts, they've seen GDP fall by 8–9% since their peak. And even if they get maybe 1% or 2% growth from exports, it's simply not going to take them back to where they were. So, you know, it's really tough to see how they're going to get back on this track.
Well, everyone wants an export model. Everyone wants to cut their public services. Everyone wants the private sector to be reorganised, more competitive, and to pick up the slack as well. What has Portugal got that it can sell to the rest of the world in bulk that we really will see a growth of this economy on the basis of?
Well, to be honest, it has a few niche markets, but important, it's trade with Spain. I mean, that's key.
That's the point, isn't it? Niche markets. Yeah. Niche markets don't repair this bloated public sector, though, do they?
No, it's very true. It's not got a wholesale model that it can fall back on. I mean, you know, Portugal, though, it's not somewhere that had a boom and bust. It's not Spain, it's not Ireland. They had endemic growth problems for the past decade. You know, they've seen 1–1.5% growth for a whole decade. So, you know, these are long-standing problems, not things that have just come about because of the euro. And they need wholesale change in their economy to really get going again.
Yeah, and of those specifics, I mean, I remember when I was back in Lisbon, it was all about the fact they didn't have this housing boom and bust that the Spanish did. Tell me about the importance of that relationship with Spain.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a key relationship. Their trade is massively with Spain, and, you know, it's really important that Spain recovers. But obviously there's a bit of a trade-off here. You know, they trade with a lot of similar people, they trade some of the same goods. So maybe if Spain recovers, it could actually erode the chance of Portugal getting some more export gains. So there's a really important balance to be struck there, and they need to make sure that they can maintain competitiveness relative to some of their partners in the Eurozone.